Hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Let me tag some friends. Hey, everybody. It's Tuesday. How's everybody doing? It's time for Kid Author Connect. I'm excited. It's going to be a good show, good interview. I hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you had a good Monday, good Tuesday. And here we are. Okay, I just invited some friends. Okay. Hey Miss MAYS, I see you there. Hello, it's Naomi. It's time for Kid Author Connect. It is Tuesday, and my camera's falling down. Let's fix that. Okay, so having a good week so far? I hope so. I'm always happy when you join me here. And every Tuesday at 6:30, we have our show, Kid Author Connect, and we meet another children's book author, usually an indie author. And we get to meet them. We get to introduce you to them, to their books, and we have great discussions about being an author, about writing and the writing community. We get to know them personally, which is always fun. So as we go into the holidays, we are doing a special series that I call Help for the Holidays, and I've invited some of my favorite experts in the business to come on and share with us some tips and some advice, answer some questions, and provide some help to us so that we can close out the year in a very positive way and have plans for success as we go into the next year. That's my goal. I need that, so I wanted to make sure that I shared that with my friends. And we're always looking to do better and to be better. So we started last week with writing coach LK. It was awesome. She was great. She really gave us so many good tips. Hi, Ron. She gave us a lot of good tips about marketing our books. She is the monetizing queen. So we learned a lot about how to monetize, how we should actually be approaching this, and how our book is really the vehicle for our business. So we build our business around our book. Hey, Deontay. Hey, everybody. So glad you joined. Hey, sister. I see you. So yeah, if you missed last week, it is still posted on my Instagram page. And guys, I want to tell you, I am trying my best here to build my YouTube channel. So all of the videos of all of the interviews are going to be going away, and they're going to be sent over to the YouTube channel. And then that's part of my plan for next year. We'll be starting off doing the videos right on YouTube for greater exposure for all of the people that come on the show. So that's a part of the plan. But for now, you can go back and find them on my Instagram page for just a little while longer. And last week, I just have to say, writing coach LK, she shared with us about her new book that is coming out called Letters to Mom, Writing to Heaven. And it was very emotional. The book is amazing. It's different. It's so different. And she opened up, about losing her mom recently. It was suddenly during the summer. And just the difference that's made in her life. And she shared how it became more than just about her. And other people started, sharing with her their experiences, whether it was 2 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, having that experience, it changes your life. So she's been reaching out to other people. They've been reaching out to her. And I said, just like she started a movement. So she's taking pre-orders for her book now. It's called Letters to Mom, Writing to Heaven. And you might want to check that out. It's really beautiful what she shared. She's being very vulnerable in the book. And I have the pleasure of editing the book. And I have laughed and I have cried And I have really enjoyed just, it's not even finished yet, just working on her book. So definitely look that up. So we have so many talented authors in our community, and I'm so proud to be a part of your family. I really am. I'm just really proud. So again, thank you for joining. I see so many of my friends here. I hope we have some new people join us as well. I'm excited about tonight because one of my favorite people, I have so many favorites, but Elizabeth MAYS, she's right up there at the top of the list. So she's joining us tonight. Elizabeth is many things. She does many things. She has many gifts and talents. And I just call her a powerhouse because she really is. I can't wait to let you hear from her. We did a quick interview when my book was released on Kickstarter, but tonight you'll get to she'll take her time and be able to talk with you and share some things with you. And I have some questions for her that I think will be very, very helpful. Okay, so let's get started. For those of you who don't know me, I am Naomi Dunson White. I am a children's book author, which is why I started this platform so that I'm not the only wonderful children's book author out there. I get to introduce you to all of my friends, and we get to meet new people. And there are so many wonderful, excellent, caring, just passionate children's book authors out there. But as far as being an indie author and doing it on our own and self-publishing, it's difficult to compete with those big publishing houses. So we don't have the exposure that they do, but we have each other as a community. And platforms like this allow us to get the exposure that we need because there's some excellent books here. Excellent. And you may not otherwise know about them unless we bring them to you. So that's what this show is all about. It's about supporting each other, right? Okay, so my first book is Johari the Great. And Miss Elizabeth MAYS is my publisher. This beautiful book. This book is about a boy who is inspired by his teacher to use his imagination to write, and he discovers that he's great. He discovers his greatness is in writing, so it encourages children to not only read, but to write as well. It's educational, it has questions in the back, and there are many lessons to be learned from this book, and I share some of my experiences as an educator and a social worker. I just believe in bringing out the best in our children, and I believe all children have a gift within, just like Johari, and just waiting to be discovered, and it's up to us, the adults, to help them to do that, right? So Johari the Great also has a coloring book that goes with it, also educational, fill in the blanks. You can find all this information on my website, naomibooks.com. And our new book, also Miss MAYS, is Why Am I Here? A Child's Book About Purpose. And this is a passion project. My team is amazing. That's all I can say. The book is amazing. It's big. It's beautiful. It's bright, it's colorful, and the message is powerful. So Why Am I Here? A Child's Book About Purpose. It teaches children about purpose and invites them to explore their unique path and place in this world. And I think that's a conversation we should have. We should open up for children because I struggled with that. Why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? I struggled with that as an adult. And that's something that I think if we open that door in a positive way for discussion, children are open to it, in an encouraging and inspiring way. And that's why this book is here. There are discussion questions in the back so parents can take it a step further, right? So I'm very proud of this book and we'll talk about it later. Okay, all about me, my charity work. Oh, that's important too. We produced this book so that we could give away 500 copies to inner city children here in Michigan. So we're very excited. We'll tell you all about it. But I am excited to bring in Elizabeth. So let me bring her in. Okay. At what I posted, you'll see that Elizabeth, again, she's multi-talented. She really is. Hey, Elizabeth.
Oh, hey.
You look good. Look at you.
Thank you. I had to fix the lighting so that people could see me very well. So
I can see you. And you can see me. You can hear me too, right?
Oh, very, very well. Very clear.
Okay, good. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty.
Good.
I'm glad to be off work and preparing mentally, for the holiday. So, happy Thanksgiving to everybody that.
Right. Well,
Um,
you look great. I love that hat on you.
Thank you. I picked this up in Boston. I can't wait to go back to pick up my third. So I appreciate that.
Look good. Yeah, so I'm excited to talk to you and share you a little bit of you with everybody else. Because even though I do monopolize a lot of your time, I know you do not belong just to me. Even though you just really, I can't even begin to tell you guys. Just Elizabeth, she's just incredible to me. None of this would be even happening for me if it wasn't for you. So I'm so grateful.
Thank you, Naomi. Yeah, literally can picture back to, I think it was January of last year when we first started the
Of
idea.
20, yeah, I think it was
2020.
COVID.
It was COVID. It was literally maybe
Right.
a month and a half, 2 months before COVID, because COVID hit in March. So I think it was probably January, which is always the best time to really implement your New Year's plan, or what they call it, resolution.
Resolution. Mm-hmm.
Um, so, being able to see you full circle is a testament to keep going with your passion. Do not let anyone get in your way. Do not get distracted, and invest in yourself. And Naomi, that's all you've been doing is investing.
That is it.
Oh my gosh.
To the
Like,
point of exhaustion.
literally, I'll be like, Naomi, okay, let's talk this through. Let's do what we don't need to do and how we can accomplish the goal. And every time we do. And
Exactly. I mean, exceed the goals. Elizabeth, I told you when I picked this book up that
Mhm.
I just, I mean, we literally I had to call you and we had to talk all my way home
Mhm.
because it's just so beautiful. And I mean, I'm getting teary just talking about it. This book, it's amazing. It's
Oh,
just amazing. You just outdid yourself. You
oh my
really did.
team effort, like you were talking about earlier. Like, this book was literally a team effort. It started with you, and then it started with me, and then it started with Megan,
Megan.
writer for the first book, Johari, and then your second book, Why Am I Here? And it literally required constant communication. So while we're here on this discussion and this talk, I'm definitely open to any questions that people might have. You're an independent author, whether you're wanting to become one, whether you're looking for inspiration or education behind what it really takes to start from an idea to,
Exactly.
like Naomi, like, you guys gotta, this book looks so good.
Uh-oh.
Can you give them a sneak peek? I love the space page.
Oh, oh, yeah, I can. And I was just looking at my friend Deontay. He's like, yes, invest in yourself, like what you were saying. And I do have some questions I can't wait to ask you. But yeah, I I just have to share these beautiful, beautiful illustrations. I know
Mm.
it does no justice. The colors
Mm-hmm.
and Megan's her style is just
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. It really is amazing, and it really was a team effort. But before I get off track, let me allow you to properly introduce yourself to everybody. I'm sorry, I act like everybody knows you like I do.
I know, right? It's okay. Oh, hi, everybody. My name is Elizabeth MAYS. I am the third generation business owner of a family printing company called MAYS. My grandfather started it back in 1946, and we predominantly were Christian printers, meaning like printing work for churches, printing work for nonprofits, and doing work for, any kind of small business back in the day. And you can imagine what small businesses look like in the greater Detroit community. And then my grandfather passed the business over to my father back in the mid 70s. And my father went to school for printing as well. After my father 10 years ago was like, it's kind of time for me to take a small step down, but still stay by your side. He passed over the business to me. I went to Western Michigan University. I studied, my major was in communications, film, video, and media studies. My minor was in engineering, chemical and paper. So I was able to, upon graduation, merge both the visual and expansive creative mind that I had in film into part it with printing. And one thing that a lot of small businesses, well, especially family-owned businesses, what they struggle with is when there's no success. Because I saw
No successor.
no, which is the person that's going to take over the business,
Right.
somebody in your family, or whether it's somebody that is an employee in the company, which is a very common thing. Whenever they don't have anybody that's a child to take over, it's normally an employee that will take over the business because they worked in the business, right?
Yeah.
Um, the reason why they struggle is because a lot of the times the children don't understand how they can diversify the company, or how they can still play a part in the business without having to run the day-to-day operations. You know, you're going to need a janitor, you're going to need an accountant, you're going to need someone to do software development, especially in this day and age. You're going to need somebody to run social media. And when I graduated, I knew that I was going to be working in printing in some capacity. I just didn't know exactly what role. And when my father was like, leadership, I was like, okay, there we go, let's go. And I knew that at the time we were primarily printing, and you know, many times when I say my name, it's automatically a connection to my family business because of how long we've been in the industry.
That's right.
In the cities for 75 years this year. That, you know, printing is, you know, paper, you know, ink on paper, you know. And upon taking over the business, we started to delve heavy into graphic arts and web development. We started to delve heavy into marketing because it was primary marketing, both print marketing and digital marketing. And then as of 3 years ago was when I really started to invest energy, education, and training and publishing. MAYS had already published books. A lot of people who didn't know that MAYS had already published books, they published tons of books. When I finally told my father back in 2000 and I think it was 2017, I was like, I want to go back to my roots more. Like, I know my grandfather isn't here. He wasn't able to see me take over the family business, but I want to go back to my roots as much as possible. And I want to start, you know, really delving into more history about what MAYS had did the years that I was not there. And
you really changed. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you really, I'm just going to try to say it commonly. You took your family business and you just expanded it into like modern times. I mean, you brought it to where we are today. So it was MAYS Multimedia or MAYS Printing, and now it's MAYS Multimedia.
Yeah, MAYS Multimedia. And the reason why is because, you know, when you're hearing the word printing, and a lot of companies have to rebrand themselves, because that's all you're thinking. You're not thinking about design. You're not thinking about marketing.
Right.
You're not thinking about animation. And we knew that that word had a beautiful spectrum in regards to what people's ideas could be, even though printing is our forefront. So when I told my father I wanted to like get back into more things, I was like, I'm interested in really publishing, because we had took years from publishing. And he was like, well, did you know that when your grandfather started the printing company, it wasn't called MAYS? And I was like, no, what was it called? And he was like, it was called Valley Publishing. And the publishing division.
And so that's why you brought that back.
I brought it back.
Wow.
Business card. I might run upstairs and get it while you're talking, but it's a little business card that has Valley Publishing Company. The logo is like red and blue. And but when my grandfather saw that he was really creating an empire for his family and a name for his legacy, he changed it to MAYS Printing. And it was MAYS Printing all the way up until when I took over. And years after, maybe about a year after I took over, we transitioned into MAYS Multimedia. But I paid homage to what my grandfather started by titling the publishing division of the company Valley Publishing Company, which happens
so awesome.
Middle name.
I know. Nobody knows that, but everyone sees I use my middle initial, Naomi V. Dunson White. And it was amazing to me when I found out that your company was Valley Publishing. And guys, my middle name is Valley. Yeah. So that was just really weird. It's a different middle name, but it is Valley.
Yeah, it was somebody. So like, I mean, I took, you know, in division, and it's amazing how it's grown. I remember when I sat with you, prior to sitting with you, I think we were probably publishing like, you know, 3 to 8 books a year. And then just within the past 3 to 4 months, 50 books. Like
that's amazing.
Yeah, we've grown.
That's amazing.
tremendously. And it's because I've just been honestly investing in myself. Like I read, of course, because we all, as writers and as, publishers and authors, you read a lot. But my thing was looking at these books, trying my best to dissect the covers, understand size, making sure that we offered a number of different type of papers for both the text and the cover, and then venturing into hardcover books again, which is why am I here, is a hardcover case bound book.
Right.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about. Wow, 6:50 already.
I know, I know, but that's okay. I have some questions for you. And I will say that I have had many people compliment me on Johari the Great. It is a paperback book, but people have noticed the quality. So with you, I know you're a stickler with quality,
Oh, yeah.
As I am. I mean, the paper has to be just so for you. That gloss, the cover can't be a limp cover. You educated me on all of that. So
Yeah.
one of the questions that I was going to ask you are, what are the benefits for self-published authors? What is the benefit of going with an indie publisher like yourself? I mean, I can tell what the benefits are to me, and that was one of them. You are going to produce a quality book, and it's obvious, even with a soft cover book.
Right.
The look of Johari the Great it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's a high quality book.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. From the graphics to the paper to the printing process that we use down to even the bindery. Hand selected. I did have a lot of favor for you because I was like, I want Naomi's book to wow people. It's been doing that since then. But
Yes.
what really separates working with independent publishers is that you don't have to lose yourself. You don't have to compromise when it comes down to the content in which you're writing, down to the vision in which you have. I've never told a customer, no, you can't do this, or, no, that's too expansive, or too, forward thinking, or too much content. If anything, I'm like, let's make it yours.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Every book that is in my shelf, and every book that is before me, I would really hope that the author or the writer did not feel like they compromised when it came down to signing with a big time publisher. We also go with your pace. We go.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that, Naomi. We go with your. Nobody is going to be producing a book at the same time. We've produced books as short as 30 days, and we've produced books as long as 2 years. It really depends on what phase the writer is in, or the illustrator, because we've had projects where we've paired illustrators with writers, and we've paired writers with illustrators. And also what we do is that we really focus on what the final product needs to look like in order to make sure that you have the right team at the company. We have a few layout specialists, a few designers, a few illustrators. So it's not like you're just...
I got to interrupt here. Because that's what makes me who I am as an author, because I have this team, and I try to explain that, but I have a team. Like, I know that I could pick up the phone and call JP. Yes. That's the guy who's assigned to me in this project. And I'm not alone trying to figure this out. With Megan, my illustrator, who everyone is always so impressed with her, but she came because I signed with you. She came with you. I got to have Megan because I'm with Valley Publishing. So there's that team. And yes. Even my photographer and my videographer, that's a part of my team. And you have consultants that authors can work with, which now I'm happy to say I'm going to be a part of that team, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Full circle. So that's pretty.
Yeah, once I saw how resourceful and extremely talented you were, my job is to always make sure that I could be as a big resource, and ensure that, they don't feel like they're publishing the book along with just one individual, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of attention to detail. You and I know so much attention to detail. Even when we're done proofing a book and we're ready to go to print, there's that one more attention to detail.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Naomi was like, wait, pause the press. I was like, good thing we haven't gotten to press just yet. And it's like that attention to detail and that flexibility,
So you would never be able to do that with a big publishing house.
No, you won't. And then also someone has your back. I mean, I can't speak for a lot of printers locally, but I do know I'm normally the only printer in the room when I'm supporting my client or if I'm, attending certain events. And I'm a supporter. Like I want to support, I want to figure out what resources do I have at my fingertips or the ones that I don't even know exist. How do I bridge them to ensure that you don't have to feel like you have to do all of this on your own and process you've never had to.
No, I've never felt just out there struggling on my own. I've always felt like I had you behind me and Megan. I've always felt like I'm a part of a team.
Yes. Like, that's how I've always ran the business. Like whenever I sat down with, for board meetings, not board meetings, but, office meetings, I would, send out, hey, everybody, let's come out, team, because like it understands that everybody is, the concept of synergy, right? Where, it's not about the separate parts, but it's about the equal of all pieces. And I like, ensure that there's a collective and also responsibility. And we got great intelligent minds at MAYS Multimedia Valley Publishing Company that I'm just really grateful I was able to seek out, and also who wanted to work with the company as well.
Yeah. Well, you're doing an excellent job. I mean, you're young and you're just so multi-talented. You also started Cadence, which is a voice company.
Yeah.
You do voice acting.
Yeah. Voiceover production, primarily voice acting, narration, audiobooks. I could launch that business maybe like 13 months ago. And I remember when we were sitting down having our meeting and as you were reading your book, the whole time I was just like listening to your voice and I was listening to, the way you wrote it. And I was just like, yes, I got to do this. I was like Cadence.
Yeah.
And I wanted to create a voiceover production studio and I've been thinking about it. And this right here is just reconfirming the fact that it was a necessary, thing for me to do for myself. So I've done commercials and audiobooks and I'm looking to work on other works as projects come along regarding children's books.
Yeah. I mean, and that goes right hand in hand with your publishing,
Oh, no, it does. Absolutely.
It's perfect. It's like you have so many services that you can provide. So I wanted to ask you the 3 benefits. And I said 1. I had to put in mine because mine is that I am not out here just floundering on my own. And I have that team. So what would you say to the self-publishers, self-published authors who are here? What would be the benefits of them seeking out and, going with an indie publisher?
Another reason is that we print in the United States. We do not ship any of our orders to China. All of our work is printed in the U.S., Detroit.
Detroit.
It's extremely important to me. You get to monitor your production. When you're working with some other publishing houses, you're not really kept abreast on what phase you're in, what step you're in. I think it's important that you do. I like to inform my customers. So a lot of the times, and actually I would say right now, about 90% of our clients that publish with us, it's mandatory that we do a consultation. And that's really to build a timeline to understand what phase you're in, what services and products do you need, what experiences have you had that you want to avoid. I've had people that are like, before I sign with you or before I work with you, let me tell you what my last experience was like. And then when I listen to the entire thing, I'm like, geez, you have to deal with that? Like, I'm sorry. Ran off with your money? Like, literally, people have, working with independent designers, you may not hear back from them. I make sure there's an accountability with anyone that is working with our company or directly in our company. It's accountability. So it's not going to be like, oh, I'm not hearing from them. We always make sure we communicate. We're available in multiple platforms. The printing quality is definitely exceptional. You can pick up as, close to possible, or we ship pretty often throughout the continental United States. So, there's so many reasons. And usually after a consultation, I would say 9 out of 10, they move forward with publishing with us because sure that they're educated throughout the process and they're not just like, unsure about what the next phase is, or they don't know about the paper, or they don't understand about what ISBN is. I want to make sure that they are educated, they're knowledgeable, and that they feel very confident in regards to just what it's going to look like to produce a book.
Yeah. And you've done that for me. I do want to talk about the piece about being printed in the United States, because that was a big part of our campaign for the Kickstarter for this book, Why Am I Here? for those that just came in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a big part of the campaign because the whole mission here for me was literally to produce this book to give away to children here in our state, you know, Detroit, Pontiac, and Flint.
Mm-hmm.
And because I felt called to these children, to these communities, you know, when we talked about that, it's like, there's no way I could order my books from China or wherever because I'm trying to invest in the Black communities here to help these children, these babies, right? So I need to put my dollars into the Black community because I'm invested in it. I'm not just invested with the money, I'm invested with my heart. You know, I'm invested with my heart. So that's something that you and I both felt really strongly about.
Oh, we were.
And yeah, it wasn't a matter of the dollars because of course you can order from China and get things so much cheaper, but you have no control.
You have no control. You have to deal with sometimes, you know, stuff being stopped at sea because, you know, when you're printing books, the weight of it normally isn't shipped by air. Chinese production timelines, and I'm not hating on China, you
No,
know.
I'm not either. I mean, everybody can do whatever they need to do, but for our goal.
I'm encouraging authors to work.
Yes.
And also you get to see that money go back into the community. Everybody, the money that, you know, when you get your line item for your order, you literally are talking to the people that you are helping with their careers.
Right.
Literally helping with the careers. All of our designers are, they were all Michigan based. We had 2 of them in California. But I'm just really, I've always had a very strong heart for making sure that I can put money back into my community. And I love to feed people that I know.
Exactly. And that's what it was with this project of ours, especially because we're investing in the community. And I'm not, you know, talking about anybody and their personal choices, but for this project especially, it was for inner city children of Michigan. So I needed to show the children, the parents, the schools, the community that I'm investing in them. And again, it wasn't just my money, it was my heart as well.
Absolutely. So, in the time frame, you know, we're estimating about 3.5 weeks for your hardcover books because of the quantity that you got, and I think we superseded by, you know, what, 2 weeks.
You already know. You just blew me away Friday. I was thinking that we were not, you know, with Kickstarter we had our very strict timeline, and so we were discussing, you know, it's a hardcover, and so there's some vendor events I wanted to do, and Elizabeth said, well, we may have to do some soft covers in the meantime while we're waiting on the hardcover. So I was a little disappointed, but I was like, yeah, well, okay. And then that's extra money too. And I said, yeah, I get it, Elizabeth, because I was pushing them. I mean, they have been working so hard. And because it's a Kickstarter, you have to stick to the timeline, right?
You do, of course.
So Elizabeth called me the other day. She goes, I might have a little surprise for you tomorrow. I had no idea. I thought you were going to give me a contact or something. And actually, she had the first batch of the books. First 100 books were ready, the hardcover. And obviously, I just couldn't be happier with it. So those types of things are not things that I could get from a big company or a big publisher. No. And knowing that I'm contributing to your legacy, to JP and his family, you know, to Megan, you know, it just makes a difference to me.
It really does.
Elena, my photographer, all of that. So that's something that an indie publisher, a small indie publisher, those are benefits. And the fact that you all, I'm not just a customer or a client, like you really see my heart and what I'm trying to do. And, you know, that everybody did. You know, even JP, you know, everybody just did. So it's like a family, and I wouldn't go it alone. I would always, you know, want this. And so for me, the next benefit is that you also do my marketing materials, my printing, and I get compliments on those all the time.
Yes, we have all the time. Several items, like, because we're a printing company as well, so you honestly can keep everything underneath one roof. And we recently added on our website, if anybody wants to go, it's maysmedia.us. That's maysmedia.us. On our publishing tab, we even list now all of the printing products that you can get with your order. So you can do flyers, coloring books, pens, tote bags, t-shirts, bookmarkers. And don't forget the vendor materials Oh yeah, the retractable banners and the
My
tablecloths.
tablecloth. My tablecloth is amazing. People ask me all the time. I gave your card out over the weekend.
Hmm.
You know, my tablecloth is amazing because it is my marketing. I don't need,
It is.
really, I don't need much else than my tablecloth.
No, your tablecloth and your retractable banner says it all, along with your book. Like really,
Yes.
once you get those two items done, especially if you're going to be at vendor tables or conferences and workshops where you're going to
Yeah.
be selling your book, you do want to make sure that if you have to walk away from your table, your marketing material is for you.
It's
And that
still there.
customer, I'm like, if you had to walk away from your table, or if somebody walked past your table, what is it that you want them to gather from just looking at it? Thank you, Captain Smiley. One of your friends I'm actually talking to right now because he's interested in printing his book with us.
Oh, yeah, yeah, he told me. Yeah. That's
So,
great. That's great. So,
mm,
yeah, I mean, I recommend you all the time. It's been such a positive experience for me, but a
mm,
lot of people don't really know or didn't know what
mm,
is an indie publisher, you
yeah,
know, because when we hear a publishing company, we think of the big, big publishing houses that you go into contract with and you get royalties, but they have control.
yeah.
And
We don't own any of your work. Everything that we produce, other than the illustrator's artwork, because that's technically like everything from immediately scratch. We don't own any work. So anytime we do any design or anytime we do any printing, anytime we do any layouts, our customer owns everything. Um,
that's important to say because people don't understand that.
yeah, it's important to own everything and not. I've had clients come to me, and they wanted to go back to reprint, and they went on Amazon to print their books when they did the whole publishing process, and they don't own their files. So they couldn't get reprints with us because they didn't own their files. So I'm always encouraging them that when you talk to them, ask all the questions, and we're people. So you're getting on the phone with people. You're not getting on the phone with a website where you have to be strict to asking, figuring out what you can online. I want to get a publishing consultation. And honestly, I prefer to only produce a book with a consultation because that's how I even make sure that they're the right fit for us and that we're the right fit for them. So because we are, small business, some people might think that our prices are a little bit higher, but the reason why is because everything is human capital in what we're doing. We're working with your
Everything.
people the entire time. But at the end of the day, it is very affordable, depending on what kind of order you're getting. So I would say don't shy away from being concerned or nervous. One thing my dad always taught me that I've refashioned myself is don't talk yourself out of something. Do your research and then make your decision. A lot of the times we hold back from so many things because we just assume it's going to be expensive, it's going to take a lot of time, or that it's going to be hard. And it's like, do your research, find out, and then allow your
Right.
um the direction of what you should probably do. So I'm always open and available for consultations. They are fee-based because of the time that we spend on the phone, and my entire knowledge, my dome is at free. I don't hold back.
Hmm.
I give any advice, I give any ideas, I help clients with their book names.
Yes, you do. Hmm.
Like, then I put what I want to call it. And by the end of the call, we're like, all right, I know the name of my book. I know my subtitle. I know who's going to write my foreword. Because you need to talk to somebody who's well-versed. Instead, why we go to doctors and we don't try to prescribe ourselves is because you want to talk to a professional who has done it again and again. And I can't even count how many books I've published to date.
Exactly. And
Mm.
it's not just about even the numbers. Like I said, you've educated me so much, you
Education.
know, on what this whole thing is about. And I've been able to share a lot with other people as well.
That
So,
is, oh my God, you're a world of knowledge. I'm actually talking to Naomi.
oh, whatever, girl.
Naomi, I'm like, oh, tell me more about this.
You're so funny. But no, I do. I feel so well informed because I've learned from a professional and I've walked through this, and this is now our second book together.
It is.
And I feel just very, comfortable. I feel very confident, in what I'm doing.
Right.
Because again, I have that whole team behind me.
Yes.
So let me ask you this, Elizabeth. What would you say to indie authors, number 1 through 3, the most important things that they should be prepared
Ooh, you're
for?
breaking up.
Oh my gosh. Am I?
More time. Well, one. What?
1 through 3 to indie authors, what they should be prepared for.
You should be prepared for a timeline. And also, well, this is all within one, a timeline, and also being flexible within that timeline. You do have to give yourself some flexibility. I don't want you to be like, oh, I want to do a book and I want to do it in 30 days. And it's like, Okay, it's possible, but also we have to understand human error, human time, things happening in your personal life. So like giving yourself enough time to honestly really publish your book, and not putting a rush on things. So having a timeline, but something that's also very reasonable. So I would say that. Another thing is that there are a lot of moving steps. There's a lot of moving steps. If you want to properly publish your book, we work in 11 areas of production, from ghostwriting to writing to layout to cover design to formatting to illustration to ISBN, barcode, copyright, and printing. Those are all the mandatory steps in order to produce your book, other than ghostwriting if you need it. And I say don't skip any of those steps. So don't just, produce a book without an ISBN and barcode. You should have that. You want to make sure that you're found on the World Wide Web. I would say, and third is, I would say work while your book is being prepared. Like I said, I produced a book in 30 days. Also produced a book, that took almost 2 years because of ghostwriting. And I say it's always important that you're constantly working. You're constantly, building up your audience, working on your social media.
I got to raise my hand here again, because I didn't even have social media until you, Miss Mays. I didn't know what in the world I was doing. You taught me Instagram.
It did.
You taught me Instagram.
Yeah.
And now I have a wonderful, supportive community.
Oh my God, it's so organic. Your Instagram is extremely organic. The engagement is organic.
Yeah.
And you do that all the time. And I come on your social
media. I'm not trying to have, I'm not trying to have all of these. It's not about the numbers, and we talked about in the beginning, it's organic, and there are people that support me and I support them.
Yes,
so
absolutely. It's a two-way street. I'm never the kind of person where I'm looking to eat from somebody and not be able to give anything back, or nor am I, the opposite. But it's beautiful when you can definitely really understand that you're building a business, you're building a brand, you're building a creative space in which people are going to be looking at you. So you want to have have like really good social media. So if somebody's discussing about your book, they can tag you.
Right. Right. Oh, is someone asking a question?
Yeah. But you want to make sure that you have your through social media, website development. You did the whole thing, Naomi. I was telling you, like, get a headshot. Make sure you have a professional professional bio.
I didn't have anything.
You had nothing. You had a script. I mean, you had a draft.
I had a manuscript.
A manuscript. And if you literally to date had to write down the checklist of everything that you have to represent Naomi Books LLC, you probably will be more equipped than some businesses are, because you crossed all your T's and you dotted your I's. And the best thing to do it is to do it early so that you can build your reputation. You were not playing when you started to get your Google reviews, or your reviews about Johari the Great.
Oh no, I was not.
Reviews from the past, year and a half of responses. So it shows the credibility of your book. It shows how you're reaching to so many different audiences, diverse audiences, whether it's ebook, that you do read-alongs. Really understand that your book is your business. It's your business.
Yes.
It is.
It is. And so when you say, while you're waiting for your book to be published, get working.
Get working.
Yeah, don't wait for it to come out. Don't wait for it to be finished. You have to get working.
You got to get working now, so that when the book does come out, people already know that you've been talking about it, you've been sharing about it, you've been anticipating, you've been putting in your long nights and your long hours.
You've been building your social media, building your audience.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth.
Our poster child of exactly what it is.
Yay!
When it comes down to really investing in yourself and putting yourself out there regarding your book.
Yeah, because I wasn't confident. I was really scared, but you guys really helped me quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I know you, and this is true. So this is a question I have. You are obviously serious about quality products. So the top three must-have quality. Wait, the top three quality must-haves or should-haves for children's books.
I don't want to say creative illustrations. I kind of want to say an illustrator who's in sync with you.
Yes.
Um,
Megan.
Megan, like an illustrator who's in sync with you. Even when it comes down to the illustration process, I prepared you before even talking to the illustrator.
Yeah.
How to think, what to write, how to present, getting descriptive. And that way your illustrations are spot on, even down
They're
to
so gorgeous.
we were literally ready for print. Naomi was like, we're missing an illustration. And we're like, oh my gosh, okay, let's get to work. You gave a one-liner, maybe two-liners.
I'm going to show you the page. That
Yeah,
was crazy.
one-liner, maybe a two-liner to Megan, and Megan automatically knew what to do and created that.
She went above.
Yeah.
And that's right. This is our second book.
Yeah.
And you matched us up based on our creativity or our personality. I don't know how you picked her for me, but it was perfect because she really gets me. So this was the page.
The obstacle.
We call this the obstacles page, where you see these children trying to be stopped from their future. I don't know if I can.
And then the other side shows how if you just keep going down the path.
Yes, keep going, don't stop. Yeah.
Right. So it's important. And also in regards to is also making sure that you print enough books. Must-haves. Don't be small-minded, please. Don't be like, oh, I just want to start off with 25. No, that's only 25 people, if that get to see your book. I say go big or go home. My thing is, like, when you're spending the amount of energy, time, and money into getting those illustrations done, I honestly want the world to see it. And the only way the world can honestly see your illustrated book is when you print in quantities and that you're understanding the breakdown. And I even told Naomi this, and she was like, well, maybe 100 books. I'm like, well, 100 books is already sold between your family and friends. I'm like, think about your network. Think about the fact that you're going to be doing vendor tables. Think about the fact that, you also might want to give some books away. Do you want to get in the library? And we really started breaking down where those quantities are going to go. And if you really think with your heart and also logically, you should not be printing 25 books.
Or 100 books.
Or 100 books, honestly. So definitely print with quantity, with intention to sell and also to reach. So that's number 2. Number 1, of course, I said, is getting an illustrator that's going to be in sync with you. And then I would say number 3 is definitely, keeping the passion behind why you produce this project. Keeping the passion.
That has a lot to do with quality. Because, the intent. And Captain Smiley's like 500 plus books. Yes, sir.
Smiley. Get your book done by Christmas. Definitely keep your passion, because it's easy to get distracted and discouraged. Naomi knows this. Yeah. It's so easy to get, because you're always looking at numbers. And one thing that me and Naomi talked about often is it's not really always about, seeing the numbers in the very beginning, but it's about building up your foundation, building up your community, building up your brand recognition. And once you start seeing that authentic, organic growth, then the numbers will come. But make sure you have your stuff ready, because you don't want to, my daddy always taught me this. He said, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and never get it than to have an opportunity and not to be prepared at all.
Wow. Because what if you do get a call for 300 books?
And they want it within a week or 2 weeks. And depending on who you're publishing with, if you're working with us, we're going to make whatever needs to work. But you want to be able to have that kind of stuff on your hands, because it's a big world out here, and books are being published every day, but not yours. So understand how your book definitely stands out in the market, what's extremely special about it, and why, and making sure you understand that your purpose is as big as your dream. So
that's right. That's right. I love that. Purpose as big as your dream. That's our book. Now we have to show the Unity page. That's our favorite page. One of our favorites.
I love the Unity page.
And this goes to show how amazing Megan is.
Yeah.
We wanted every child to know that they have a purpose. And pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So I couldn't be more proud of this book, or of my team, or of you and MAYS and Valley Publishing. Just amazing. Just amazing. Now, Elizabeth, I do want to share, because I do know a little bit about this, but, when COVID hit, it was crazy for everyone. Yeah. For everyone. And like you said, that's when you and I first talked. And then a couple of months later, COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you guys are well known, like you're probably the biggest or most recognizable name in the printing business here
Yes.
in our area. Can you share with people how COVID impacted your business?
Ooh, big. um, so one of our primary forms of revenue at the business was events. So galas, workshops, conferences, career expos, anything big, right?
And
Signing.
this is the printing. This is MAYS Multimedia, not Valley Publishing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all of those items they hit a halt. So like right, it's like the first week in March we started getting emails, or was it the last week in February? We started getting emails like, hey, put a pause on our event, put a pause on our printing, put a pause, and we were putting so many pause because literally the world has shut down. And but unfortunately people were passing rapidly, and as people were passing away, we were increasing and producing memorials. We've been known for producing obituaries the entire time our family business has been around, and the memorials kicked in crazy. We were used to doing maybe 2 to 3 programs a week, sometimes 4, and it went up to 11 or 12. And we were shipping programs nationwide because of course people were losing their loved ones, and it was harder to find companies that were open, flexible, and able to provide the services within the turnaround of which they were needing, which was usually 2 to 4 days. And that really slowed down. But something spiritually, the Lord spiritually, like touched me back in December of 2019, and was like, go do free book publishing consultations. And I was like, all right, okay. So I offered from December 11th to the 20th, maybe 30 to 40 free book publishing consultations. They were all booked. And I literally consulted upwards to, maybe it wasn't 40, maybe 30 individuals. And half of those in the new year turned into orders. And I'm very grateful that I started planting seeds at that time that I didn't know harvest, but I knew that I was doing it for a reason. And
Right.
I was consulting people that were then understanding and believing in themselves, that when March came, though we lost all that money in printing, we lost almost $200,000 in business. Once we lost that, like other things started to come in
Right.
our need. It took time to get back to where we originally were. Of course, we're never going to be exactly where we were.
And it's amazing that COVID and that's just your business.
Imagine other businesses who solely rely on brick and mortar foot traffic, like restaurants, like they were hit. You didn't know how to convert into, food sharing through like apps and stuff like that, or you weren't having a savvy system online, or you didn't have, really good collective teams working. A lot of businesses did suffer, and the ones that were able to adapt, it's all about adapting. We just had to adapt. And then we had to reinvent some of our products and services that we knew were not required on sitting with customers face to face.
Yeah. Well, I think you did an amazing job. I mean, because I'm here and I talked with you and saw you during that time when COVID was really bad. But I remember us having this discussion, like it was really getting to you emotionally because the bulk of your work was people dying. And you had to sit with people, you had to talk to people to plan out their programs. And it was crazy, literally. That was really something.
Yeah, it was really hard. I didn't know it was getting to me until one day I really kind of had like this breakdown, and I couldn't understand why I was so just emotional. And I was talking to my partner at that time, and they were like, "It's because these programs, so much death that is around you, and you're not, you need to find a way to balance it." And luckily at that time too, the book publishing was coming in, and it was kind of like, even though I absolutely love celebrating, loved ones who have passed away with pieces that are showing the light of the life that they did.
Of course.
But you're dealing with grieving families.
That's it. Yeah.
But we're still doing it. We're just doing it in a different way so that we can still maintain our mental health and also allow time to work on all of our clients can order obituaries through our website. So that has definitely a big help.
Yeah, that was really something. But your business persevered during that very difficult time.
We did.
Yeah.
Closed. A number of them have closed. Since for several reasons. And right now we're going through this really terrible paper shortage. It's a really, really bad paper shortage that we're dealing with globally, because we get paper from all around the nation. And I have a number of projects where we're really trying to figure out what other alternative paper are we going to use
Wow.
out into the new year in order to wait.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yes. It's pretty extreme. We have to wait. We have to order paper now and wait for almost 4 weeks for it to come in, where originally we can just get it off the floor from our suppliers locally. And that has definitely changed. But, you know, you pivot with time, and you really have to understand how to prioritize projects, and to prioritize, you know, what it is that your company is going to produce and how it's going to produce it, so that you don't feel deficits, you know, tremendously. So we're doing so much better now. The book publishing industry is it's just big, so busy, to the point where normally I was consulting all of our clients, and now I'm unable to do that all by myself. So I'm just looking for the company to continually grow. We are hiring when it comes down to illustrators. We are always hiring when it comes down to writers, to ghost writers, to editors and individuals that do out, and also content developers.
Someone's asking, do you work with digital books too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ebooks. We actually are working on an ebook right now for Why Am I Here? So I forgot to mention ebooks. Thank you. We also do ebooks, which is a digital, in order for you to sell it on platforms, or of course sell your book digitally online.
Yeah,
So,
and you put them in the proper format for, if Kindle would make up their mind as to which one they're going to accept. They this, and now it's back to Mobi, then it was that. But yeah, and again, that's another benefit that I have, you know, because you guys, you know, I have JP, you guys do that for me. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's been a wonderful experience, you know, working with you and MAYS and Valley Publishing. It's been a blessing to me, and that's why I wanted to have you here to answer some questions about people wondering, you know, well, what is an indie publisher? I'm ready. Oh, Writing Coach says they do printing if you ever need to outsource.
I will love to.
Yeah, she's one of my business coaches.
Oh, awesome. You never know what each other might need. I definitely.
Exactly. She was on last week sharing with us about monetizing. So let me make sure, if you guys have any other questions, you can ask me now before I let Elizabeth go. Elizabeth, you shared so much great information. I want to make sure I don't miss anything that anybody.
Ask y'all questions now, because after today, everything is fee-based consultations.
I know. I know. Ask it now. Get your free questions in. But I mean, the information that you shared about quality, you know, how important the quality is, you know, how important it is that you are working while your book is being printed, while your book is being published, you know, building up. And like you, and again, you showed me how to do that. Like,
and understand that when you start to publish your book, your initial cost is all investment. It's all investment, right? You're paying for all those different phases. And don't be discouraged by what it's going to cost, because once everything is done, the only thing you'll ever have to worry about is printing, right? So you might have an investment of $800. Some clients have an investment of $2,500. Some of them have investments up to $8,000 to $10,000, depending on whatever it is. But know, whatever you're putting in, you're going to be getting that.
Exactly. I mean, because we talked about that, like with my book, the illustrations for my book, you know, this isn't going to be $800. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You are going to invest in these kind of illustrations.
Yeah.
So it depends on what your book, you know, what the book is, you know, what.
We do work with budgets, you know, you might only have an illustration budget of X amount of dollars, and what we do, and clients don't have to worry about paying for their job all up front. Our book publishing process is so there are payment tiers that you will, or even payment schedules when it comes down to producing your book. So don't be like, oh my God, I'm afraid it's going to cost me thousands. You never know. I had a customer, we just got done printing a small 5.5, 8.5 book. It was like, and this should just give you an idea of what it costs to print, right? And also book probably cost him maybe $2 per unit, and he's reselling for $15. So, and that's just a black and white book, mind you, with a full color. Yeah, but depending on your volume, depending on your page count, depending on how, the color of the book, will kind of give you an idea. So for those who are writing books like fiction novels or poetry or things of that sort, you really do have a really good margin when it comes down to black and white printing opposed to full.
Right.
And the whole concept is that you can make money. So we try to get our numbers down as low as possible, so that you can make as much as possible. So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we were talking the other day. I had, this is a large investment, a book like we did here for Why Am I Here? But
Mm-hmm.
like you said to me, the next time when we go to print for our second print, it won't be as expensive because you've already set everything up for me.
Yep.
You
Mm-hmm.
know. And there's Nanku said she would love to get her coloring books printed with you.
Oh yeah, talk
And
to.
she loves her banner. She got her banner.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, your banner, those banners are awesome. I get stopped every vendor event. Someone's asked me about my banner. I gave someone your card yesterday,
Awesome.
and my banner and my tablecloth.
Thank
So let me ask you that, and then I'm gonna let you go. I keep asking you all these questions for vendors because some people are first time authors and they've never done a vending event, a vendor table.
Mm-hmm.
What are the things that you recommend? I know you said the tablecloth and your banner, your retractable banner.
Yeah, so tablecloth. We do design for everything. So BT
that's another thing, right? I didn't have to do anything. I mean, you designed it for me.
To give us direction in terms of what your vision was. We do all the design work, we do all the print work. So if you're going to have a vendor table, I would say let's talk about the 5 primary products or the 4 primary products. You definitely want a tablecloth. So you want to be able to cover those hideous tables that they give you most of the time because you want it to drape and be a presentation from both the left, the right, and the front of your table. You want a retractable banner. In which people can read about what it is that your table is presenting and or selling or sharing. You definitely want to have flyers. Flyers are normally sometimes that little one segment that's going to talk about what your book is, how much it's for sale, where they can find you. You want to have bookmarkers. Bookmarkers is a really, really great way, especially if you're going to be selling a book by pages, where they can always have something to shove into the book. So it's
Let me grab my bookmark. Keep talking.
Yeah, so you want to have bookmarkers. And I was fifth item, some kind of promo item. So the promo item can be like a wristband, it could be a pen, it could be a tote bag, some kind of promo item where it's actually fun when people walk past, they grab it. Right.
This is Jahari's.
Marker. Yeah, that one was just showed image.
And it has the barcode, which is really smart.
Barcodes too. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. Please go to our website and just check it out. So the concept is, I would say, definitely having your retractable banner, your tablecloth, your flyer, your bookmarker, of course, along with your book. And then if you had to say the 5th item, some kind of promo item, a very inexpensive item that you can give away for free.
Mm-hmm. The mazes.
Yeah.
Well, Elizabeth, obviously I could talk to you all day, but you gave some really wonderful information. I really appreciate it. It was like having a little mini consultation. Yeah. I know that our guests got a lot out of it. Your passion and your expertise, it really shows. Like I said, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and love you and respect you for what you do for me. And your team is amazing. And the pride that I feel in, the books, I should say, both of them, and my coloring book. And there's a coloring book coming for Why Am I Here as well.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I get compliments on my books all the time. And that's because of the professionalism and the quality that I have from Valley Publishing and MAYS Multimedia.
Thank you. I appreciate very happy, of course, to see a number of, people I know. Kendra, of course, Nanku. I was making sure I was right. Tiff, Donna, I appreciate you guys all joining in, just listening to me talk in regards to book publishing. And if you know anyone that's interested in publishing a book, someone who has already published a book that might be interested in knowing what quotes would look like to get it reprinted. And even if you are aspiring and you just don't know where to start, I would say give me a call or shoot me an email or go straight to our website to learn more about the products and services that we offer. And I would love to be a resource and also a teammate in getting your book published.
Yeah, so it's maysmultimedia.com.
Well, it's maysmedia.us.
MAYSmedia.us.
So our website is maysmedia, maysmedia.us, and our Instagram handle is maysmedia.us. We also have an Instagram page for our Valley Publishing. Um,
I'll put them all on here.
yeah, put it on
I put both of them in my other post as well.
yeah. Okay, great. So it talks
Yeah.
all. But yeah, thank you so much, Naomi, for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. And if they lost your information or whatever, they can always ask me. You can
Oh,
always go. You
I'll
can
be in
always.
tag both businesses and also my personal in the event that somebody wants to stay in contact and in touch. All right.
Okay. All
Thanks.
right. Thank you, Elizabeth. All
You're welcome.
right. See you. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and we will see you next Tuesday. We're going to be participating in. Thank you, Writing Coach. Thank you. So we're going to be participating in the Black Caucus of American Librarians. They're having a readathon to celebrate on Giving Tuesday. So next Tuesday is Giving Tuesday. I would love for you to join. I will post about it. I'll be moderating a couple of hours. It's going to be on Zoom, and I'll be reading my book, and so many of my friends and your friends will be also reading. You can sign up. I will post the information. It should be a very nice time. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Kendra, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Fatmata, thank you, sweetheart. I think that's beautiful that you give me a compliment. Thank you. So we'll be doing that on next Tuesday, and the show will be over on Thursday. We're going to move it over to Thursday, and Richard Ashby Jr., the library director and champion of indie authors everywhere, he's going to be with us on Thursday for an interview and to take some questions and speaking from a librarian's perspective to us indie authors and about having our books library ready, right? And some other tips. He's always so helpful to us. So we'll be talking with him. Okay, so guys, always you can learn more about me, my mission to give books to inner city children. And you can find out about my books, Johari the Great, and Why Am I Here at naomibooks.com. Okay, so I'll see you next week. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Bye-bye.